discussion comes is what is Fajr, right? And this was not a pre-modern discussion, because back then, at the time of the Prophet, everyone, they went and they looked for Fajr, right? You woke up and you found Fajr, and then you gave the adhan, right? You waited until it came in, and then you gave the adhan. So it's something that was always going to be taqribi. That changed, of course, throughout the seasons, but that's something that was always estimated. It was never 100% accurate. But now we have degrees, right? And there's a whole discussion about what degree is correct. Is it 18? Is it 15? Is it 12? Is it 6? Some people even said that, right? So it's a long discussion. And there was a big discussion about whether or not, right, we can choose a fixed degree, right? And there have been some really good articles. Sheikh Noor actually wrote a good article about this. I can post it if anyone is interested. But I wanted to just share this picture. So this is, you guys can kind of see this. These are the degrees, right? So for someone who hasn't seen this before, these are the degrees. So we have the horizon, this is day, and sunrise is going to be right here around civil twilight. And this is the night, right? So as the sun moves, you get this degree. And the 18th degree, anything below 18th degree, is astronomical dawn. These are technical terms. They have their own meanings. They're not that important. 12 degrees is nautical dawn. That refers to sailors, and when they're first able to actually distinguish key landmarks or the route, right, of the ocean. And then you have civil dawn around at 6. So this is kind of how the degrees works, right? So the higher the degree, the darker the sky. So when does Fajr actually come in? Now, as I mentioned, there's a lot of disagreement about this, but I want to just read this paragraph from this article that has been written about this, and it kind of just nails the point on the head. So it says, decades of research conducted by organizations such as moonsighting.com, as well as several other individuals, have revealed that the timings for Fajr and Isha are not scientifically deterministic and vary with season, latitude, elevation, and other factors, right? So the idea that there was a big idea about, right, a standard degree. Everyone said, oh, it's just 18. It's just 15. That's actually not correct, because it varies depending on these factors. Due to repeated inquiries sent to the Fifth Council of North America and the Islamic Society of North America, 2 sessions were held to discuss the topic in 2016-2017. The conclusion from these meetings was that since none of the calculation methods are entirely accurate for all locations across North America, an approximation must be made to ease the burden on Muslims from having to visually observe twilight and dusk on a regular basis. So they said that we have to just make an approximation. And that's why every, Muslim, you could say council or just, country, or even imam, a group, like a community, they'll do their own ijtihad. So it's something that is purely ijtihadi based, that every community will actually find out when Fajr actually comes in. When looking at this, when does the actual light begin to truly appear? Is it 18 degrees? Is it 15 degrees? What degrees is it actually at? When you can actually see the light on the horizon, it becomes visible, right? And depending on the ijtihad, that's the one we'll follow. Right. It's actually a bit easier just to, look for the sun, right? But to make it easier, they're trying to find a degree that they can follow. So, right, in North America, right, they said that the consensus is around 15 degrees. 15 degrees is the consensus, while in the UK, for example, and Europe, 18 degrees is the standard degree. Right. This is Sheikh Nu kind of discusses this a lot in his article. Now, what's really important though about the degrees is not the specific degree, but the aspect of taqwa that one should have when stopping eating, right? So the idea is that the goal is not to dogmatically choose a degree to stick by, but to be precautious regardless of the case. So even if it is 15 degrees, one should stop eating by 18, right? Because the goal is that our only intention, our main focus is making sure that our fast is valid, right? It's not about cramming in the extra couple bites before Fajr comes in, right? It's not about that. The goal is to make sure that our worship with Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala that He has made obligatory upon us is accepted by Him subhanahu wa ta'ala. And that can only be done by having taqwa. And taqwa, as we mentioned earlier, ihtiyat, is avoiding the gray areas of acceptance or unacceptance, right? By being cautious, right? So the goal is that, regardless whether or not whatever committee or discussion they've come up to always give a buffer zone, give a 15 to 20 minute time frame before Fajr comes in to stop eating, at least 10 minutes to make sure that your fast is valid, right? And that just means waking up a bit earlier and having a light suhoor, right? And not overdoing it at suhoor anyways, right? So this is really that's kind of the importance of this discussion. And for anyone looking for a degree, there are different apps you can use, but to look at the standard for your region and to go based off of that standard. And as I mentioned, the standard for the northern hemisphere, the North America is going to be 15 degrees, and the standard for Europe, right, is going to be around 18 degrees, inshallah. So that's kind of like a basic understanding. And for other time zones and time and areas, you'll have to look that up, inshallah, according to the calculations provided by the local mosque or by the community that does this research, inshallah. Alhamdulillah. So